This is the plaintiff, Joan Waugh. She says she had a relationship with the defendant, lent him all sorts of money during their 2 years together, and can't seem to get him to pay her back now that they've split up. She's not a rich woman. She works hard for her money and just wants back what's rightfully hers. She's suing for $2,700, the amount she's owed. This is the defendant, Paul Hines. He says he's in shock over this lawsuit. They had a relationship, money went back and forth, and that's that. Suing him over money? What a joke. He's accused of not doing right by an ex.
All parties, please raise your right hand. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas. Okay, Joan Waugh?
Yes.
You are suing your former boyfriend, Paul Hines?
Yes, Your Honor.
For $2,700 that you say you had loaned him in dribs and drabs over and over, even though he wasn't paying you back. And now look at you. Here you are.
Yes.
$2,700 he owes you and hasn't repaid and refuses to repay. Tell me.
Okay. We met almost 2 years ago, and we've been back and forth, in and out.
How did you two meet?
He lives like 2 houses from me.
Yeah. That's
And
okay.
I was coming home one day, and he was driving down the block, and he saw me. He stopped, and he's like, "Here's my number." And I gave him mine. We hadn't talked until like a few weeks after, and I think it was snowing at that time, and he just kept texting. I didn't see the text because I was cleaning the snow off my car. So when I went in the car, I saw all these texts, and then I started texting back. And that whole Sunday, I mean, we text continuously.
Okay. So he knows how to return a text.
Oh, he knows how to text.
Okay. All right. So you dated him for how long?
We started dating seriously since February of this year.
Of this year.
Yeah.
And because you dated before that, and then it sort of ebbed and flowed.
Yeah,
and
it's
then you
like
dated
up
again.
and down. Like I don't think he was sure what he wanted, and I told him from day one.
Isn't it awkward though? Like the guy lives 2 doors down from you. Don't you see him a lot?
It
or?
is so awkward, and and no, prior to all of this, I only saw him like a few days ago.
Right.
So the thing is,
Tell me how you started to loan him money.
Okay.
Tell me about the first time.
Okay, the first time was in June, and he asked me to loan him $200.
For what?
He didn't tell me what he needed it
When
for.
somebody doesn't tell me why, I don't need to go to my bank. What does that mean? Don't you ask when somebody asks you, I need $200?
No, not that $200. I mean, I figured,
Can I borrow $200? There's no rest of that sentence? For X?
No, he didn't
There's
say.
no explanation about why he doesn't have $200?
He did not
Because you're
say,
making
and
it
I
sound
didn't.
like, oh, it's so little, I didn't care. Well, then for so little, why doesn't he have it? You know?
Exactly. You know what? That was my...
What do you mean exactly?
No, that was my thought.
No, don't agree. See, here's the thing. That was your thought, but then you gave it to him.
I did.
Yeah, see, that's my thought, and then I don't give it to him.
Yes, and then it's so small, so I'm like, it wouldn't be a problem for him to pay me back that $200.
Really? It's a problem for him to have it? He doesn't have it.
Exactly.
Isn't that a clue that it might be a problem for him to pay it because he doesn't have it to spend it right now, and he's got to go to you to get it?
You know what, Judge? You're right, but I was trusting him. Yes.
You trusted him, not you were a fool.
Yeah, I was a fool, and I trusted him.
Okay. Why? Okay. Let's go with that. So it's $200.
Yes.
Okay.
The
Then
first
what
one
happened? When's he going to pay back those $200?
He said he would pay me back that following weekend.
Did he?
He did not. He did
Shocked.
not. Yeah.
Okay. And then what happened?
You're going to be even shocker now.
No, I'm not. See, this dog comes to my courtroom and bites me all the time. This little scenario, so I'm not going to be shocked. I'm just surprised that you would act that way.
Yeah.
But I'm going to know exactly what's coming out of your mouth next.
Yeah, I'm surprised
Because even though the fellow didn't pay you back, what did you do?
I still went ahead and loaned him more money.
How much money?
I loaned him $1,000.
$1,000. He already owed you $200 and didn't pay it on the day he said he would.
Yeah. So this $1,000 that he borrowed now, he needed to do some work on his car. That's what he said.
And why would you loan the guy $1,000 who failed to pay you as promised $200?
When he asked me for that $1,000, he said to me, Joan, I know I owe you the $200, but I'm going to need to borrow $1,000 from you.
No, that doesn't answer why you did it.
Because I was a
I know
fool.
why he borrowed it, because he knew he could get it. Why did you do it?
I was a fool. I was a fool. And the thing is, I had no written agreement with him. I didn't say, okay, you need to sign this, or I could have written him a check, and that way I'd have...
Here's the thing. The same way someone has the chutzpah, someone has the nerve, the hard face, cara dura, we call it in Spanish, to walk up to you and say, I need $1,000 of your hard-earned money, after-tax dollars. I need that. The same way someone says that to you, you should be able to say to them, sure, here is the promissory note that you need to sign about your payment plan on how you're going to pay me back the money. But people are always embarrassed to do that. Oh, I thought I could trust him. Well, why? He's not embarrassed to ask you for the money. If he can ask you for the money, why do you have to be embarrassed to ask him to sign something, to prove you gave him the money? I don't understand.
Yeah, I'm learning that now.
Oh, you think? And now, and why don't you, if you're too embarrassed to get him to sign a promissory note, the least you do is protect yourself by texting or emailing back and forth something so that you print out an email that shows he acknowledges the debt.
That's what I did.
Yeah, well, yes and no. You sent them an email saying you owe me money. Okay, so now let's talk about the $1,000. You give him the $1,000, and then he's supposed to pay that back when?
He didn't say when he was going to pay. No.
And you didn't ask?
No. He said once he started working and money started flowing, he would pay me back.
Which would be when?
Well, he started the new job, I think.
No, he didn't say so in 2 weeks, in 3 weeks. You didn't ask him?
No, he didn't.
Would that be the end of this case, right? But it's not, because he didn't pay back that $1,000, and he didn't pay back the $200. And then what did you do?
And I loaned him more.
How much more?
I loaned him $1,500 more.
Get out of here. How do you figure the guy's going to pay if he can't pay all this other stuff you've already loaned him? Why would you do that? Were you buying his love, honey?
No.
You sure?
No. You know what? We were...
You sure?
I'm sure.
You sure? Because all the
sure.
rest of us within the sound of your voice, we sort of think you were buying his love.
No, I wasn't. I trusted him. We were planning on getting married. So, I'm like, of course he's going to pay me back. And he's like, baby, payback is going to be sweet. Once money start coming back.
Payback's going to be sweet? What's it going to do? Put sugar on the bills? How's payback going to be sweet unless you're buying something with the money? I'm not getting it. And why did you loan him this $1,500?
He went to Jamaica, so he needed the money to help with his...
Oh, let me see if I got this straight. He is owing you $1,200, but instead of taking another job or more hours so that he can earn the money to pay you back what he owes you, he's going off and woohoo, I'm going to Jamaica. And it doesn't occur to you to say, do you think this is a time for you to go to Jamaica when you're owing me $1,000? Because what you really should be doing is working some extra hours so you can pay me what you owe me. That doesn't occur to you?
I never thought of that, because I'm like, these were plans he had prior to
Apparently not, since you had to fund it.
Yeah.
What makes you think those are plans? I have plans to go on an African safari. Hey, can I have the money from you? That's not a plan. That's smack talk.
Yeah.
You funded it. So now you give him $1,500 more. How much money in total did you give him?
$3,000.
How much has he paid you?
$500.
Mr. Hines, what's going on?
What's going on, Your Honor? As Joan mentioned, we did have a relationship. Okay, I did borrow an amount, which is not what she says. I have a conflict with the amount. She put through a claim of $2,900. Of which I have paid back $200. Okay. There are factors
So her claim now in court is actually for $2,700.
That is correct. So that's subtracting the $200, which brings it down to $27.
Right. And she says you owe her that. Do you owe her that?
Not the $27, no.
Okay. What do you owe her?
$1,500 minus...
Minus $200, so $1,300.
Yes.
How do you come up with that? Why were you asking her for money? Why don't you pay your own darn bills? You just met this girl. She's a neighbor. Why are you putting her in this position? Tell me.
Okay, it was 2 times that I borrowed money from her. Okay, as she mentioned, it was $1,000 to get my car back on track. I work for a car service. Okay, I was moving to Manhattan, so I had to get the car up to speed, tires, get the car tuned up. So that's what I borrowed the $1,000 for.
So that's $1,000. What about the $200 she talked about?
I don't know about the 200 she's referring to. I know about the 500. There was a 500 that when I was in Jamaica, I called her up and I asked, well, I'm in a situation here. Can you loan me $500?
Okay.
Which she did
but that
without
wasn't the first money she gave you for Jamaica, right?
There was another $1,000 that she said she's going to send with me for spending money to Jamaica.
As a gift.
Yes.
Because you're her boyfriend.
Yes.
And you're so cute.
And I'm so cute.
And you're just so cute, so irresistible, she has to rain some money on you that she doesn't get paid back. That was a gift, but the others were a loan. Right?
Yes. That was $1,000. It was twice, $1,000 and the $500.
Okay. Now, did you spend any of that $1,000 on her in Jamaica?
On her?
Yeah, you heard me.
Yeah, I bought her some rum.
Some rum?
Yeah.
$1,000 rum? Man, that rum's got to be good. I want me a Cuba Libre with that rum.
That too.
I'll tell you that right now. I want that, though. You can't have a Cuba Libre without Bacardi. All right. Did you break up with her or did she break up with you?
At first, because of the arguments back and forth, I was at her house and I said to her, this is not going to work. Let's take a break from this and see what happens down the road.
Okay.
About a week later, she came over to the house. She said, can I speak to you? Can I come over? No problem. We sat down there. We spoke about it. She said to me, what do you want? I said, if we don't have the same arguments over and over, I have no problem with it. We can get back together again. Apparently...
What were the problems? What were the arguments?
You cannot mold a person to the way you want them to be.
What does she want you to be? A guy who pays his bills? What does she want you to be that you felt she was trying to mold you into? Exclusive?
Right. She's the type of person... All right, I'll give you two examples. My cousin came over. Because I didn't introduce her to my cousin as my future wife, she had an issue with that. Okay? There's another situation.
How did you introduce her?
I said, this is Joan.
Okay, go on.
Just that simple.
Okay.
There was another situation. I get home from work late. Sometimes I may come over, sometimes I may not. A couple of the occasions, I didn't call when I got in. That was an issue for her.
So she was controlling.
These little minor issues.
No, well, that's not minor. That I understand that. That paints that's your relationship. So you felt that she was controlling.
Yes.
Okay. Do you see the dynamic that maybe you should not be beholden to someone who's controlling? Do you understand that it's your own darn fault for putting yourself in a position where she is holding the money purse, where you're having to go to her for money, and now you owe her, and now she's got a reason why she can continue to text you and take you to court and everything else? I mean, why do you think a woman who works hard for her money, I assume you work hard for your money?
Very
what
hard.
What do you do?
I'm a housekeeper slash babysitter.
I can't tell that you work hard because you're giving it away like you do. Okay, but do you understand how there's something she's trying to buy with that money? Like it or not, I don't care whether she likes hearing that, there's something she's trying to buy.
And welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. So, was she buying his love?
Heck yeah. Oh my God, there's no way you would give that much money to a guy without expecting anything back.
Okay,
I mean,
then the question, is she entitled to get any of this money back, or was it just an outright gift?
It was an outright gift. She's a sugar mama, so you know.
But here's the complication. He did pay back a total of $500. Does that change it for anybody?
She should get the money back, even though they are deeply in love, I reckon, yeah.
Yeah, they were deeply in love.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Going inside the courtroom.
Listen, Ms. Waugh,
Yes.
let me explain to you how this works,
Yes.
okay? These are difficult cases for you to prove, particularly when you are paperless in the endeavor,
Yes.
okay? What you have here is a situation where he, mercifully, unlike some other people in this scenario, some other people in the same kinds of lawsuits who say, every last penny was a gift that she was spending on me because she was trying to buy my love. He acknowledges that some of it were loans, but he says that some of it were gifts. You can't prove that the one he says were gifts were loans. You know, you're lucky that he admits to the ones that he says were loans, because otherwise you'd be in here like just wah, like, you know, other people in your position. I've been money, you know, just believe me. And, you know, these are hard positions for you to take because you got to prove your case. I'm going to find in your favor in the amount that he concedes, which is a $1,300. Verdict for the plaintiff. And let me give you a piece of advice. If you don't want to be in this position, you're a grown woman. Put your big girl panties on and don't put yourself in this position.
You're right.
Okay? Good luck.
Thank you.
All right, so the plaintiff has won some money here in the People's Court. Not everything she sued for, you lose. But you're tall. So what's your reaction to this?
My reaction, I lost, but at least I was upfront and straight. And as the judge said, I could have said it was all a gift. But, I just came with it and I said, I do owe her some money and she will get her money.
Well, what was good about your relationship in the good days?
We had good times. We had fun together.
Why'd she get so mad at you how'd it get to this point that she's suing you? How'd your relationship go down the tubes?
She's a very bitter person because the relationship ended. This is what she wanted. And that's how it is.
All right, you just head right down this way. All right, come on in here.
Thank you.
Well, you're fortunate that you didn't have any proof of anything. Step up a little, and you're fortunate he admitted at least that amount, $1,300 there, was outstanding loans.
It's all a lie. It's all a lie, and it's so sad because prior to all of that, I gave him loan, which was $500.
What'd you see in this man?
Nothing. Nothing.
That's why you went out with him for so long?
No, nothing. No, I loved him.
What did you?
I trusted him. He's a charming guy, and I thought this was who he was. But it took me going through all of this to find out the type of person.
You sure you didn't try to buy him?
No. I would never buy anybody's love. I'm sure.
Harvey?
Okay, since I started the People's Court 112 years ago, we've talked about this numerous times, that if you keep shelling out money for somebody that you're in a relationship with, thinking that this is going to buy their love, that this is going to cement the relationship, you are not only wrong, it's going to do the opposite. The person is going to lose respect for you, and it will almost certainly torpedo the relationship. And that will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.